this is going to be my Seicane H201G unboxing. This is going to be my Android head unit for my Jeep Wrangler. There's my Jeep Wrangler. And let's get in here. Alright, I had to open it up a little bit before I could continue recording. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. Christmas Day up in here. If you're wondering about how long it took for me to get it, it took about, I think it was 17 days I counted, so it took a little bit of a while, but you know, I guess it's not too bad. There was an option to get it from the USA, and so it came from Los Angeles, but they didn't send it out until, I want to say it was Friday or Saturday of last week, and it's Wednesday today, so we just got it. Alright, I don't know if I opened it upside down, but there was some foam that was holding everything together. Okay, first we have some wires here. This is the CAN bus. It's going to go into the back of the radio. Here is the actual head unit here. I'll get that out and let you see that. So it's very large. I didn't think it was going to be like that. Here is the coin tray here, and I'll get all this stuff out once I get everything out of the box. And then the last piece is going to be the rest of the dash. So we'll put this to the side. And then I also ordered a wireless backup camera, but apparently I just got this Jeep, and I didn't think it had a backup camera. It didn't have a radio when I got it, and I was looking to get a ball hitch for my Jeep, and when I was back there looking, there was a backup camera already installed, so hopefully the wire is already in there and it'll just be plug and play. I do want to show you one more thing. Alright, this is with everything out of the plastic and everything. Here's the backup camera. It looks kind of basic, but if it works, it works. Kind of looks like my old car. And then, again, those are the wires. They're in a little Ziploc bag, so I don't want to get those out until I'm ready for them. And then here's the dash. This is where like the speedometer and everything is, and I'm assuming I might go break these out of here so you can see the speedometer. That's the coin tray, and again, this is the head unit. And I've been doing a lot of research on this head unit, and apparently it doesn't play well with the Alpine subwoofer if you have one in your Jeep Wrangler. And so I didn't know if I had one, so I went out to the car and I looked, and apparently I do. And if you do have one and you have any issues, supposedly this thing here is the solution to it, this PAC module, and I'll leave a link in the description about where you can get this from. But I'm hoping, I'm going to cross my fingers, because I'm not going to lie, it looked kind of complicated how to wire the PAC module, and I'm hoping that I don't have to deal with it. So I'm going to try to do an installation video, but I promise nothing because it's just me right now. I don't have anybody to film for me. But at the minimum, I'll show you what everything looks like when it's done and tell you what I think. And so I'll hit you back. Alright, we are back. I have everything installed. It wasn't too hard of an install. It took me a while to get the window controls out. I had to actually look up some videos online, and mine was a little bit different than all the videos I saw, but that was kind of tough. The screws were where they were supposed to be. There was one here, one on top in the tray, and then I had to remove this panel here, and there was two screws below that panel, and all of that came out all right. I noticed, I think I told you before that I had the Alpine sub, and I'll actually show you how you can find out if you had an Alpine sub, because I didn't know if I had one, and I just happened to find a video, and I'll show you how you find out if you have that. So I will go to the back to show you. All you have to do is go back here and look at the back, and boom, you'll have a sub right here, and it'll say Alpine. It'll be very obvious. You either will have this here or you won't. Alright, so because I had an Alpine sub, you're supposed to use that pack module, and I decided that I was going to not use it because I hooked the radio up, and before I put it back in, I tested to see if I was going to get sound, and I did, and I thought it sounded fine. But the longer I drove around, it kept bothering me that I wasn't getting all the sound that I was going to get, so I decided to take everything back out, and I found a video that helped me wire it up, and that was more complicated than just hooking the radio up, I will admit. But there's some good videos out there. I may put some in the description. But the sound it's not even comparable. It's way better with the pack module. I will say that before, when I didn't have the pack module, all of my steering wheel buttons worked, all of them. The volume and the track forward and all of that stuff worked perfectly fine. And now that I've installed the pack module, I get none of those things. And yes, I have tried to program them. There's a little light that's on the pack module, so when you first turn it on, you can reset things, and you can click, and then the light on the pack module is supposed to blink, and it did all of those things. And I have no steering wheel controls at all now, so I have to control everything with the screen. So now let's get into the radio itself. Alright, this is the radio. Now that everything's turned on. This is a very basic UI. I've actually changed it, but I did, since people are going to get it, I wanted to show them what it looks like originally. Here you have a clock and the radio. I don't understand some of the stuff in the radio. Just turn this down. And so there's some stuff over here I'm not really sure. I'm sure I could just Google these things. This AFTAPTY thing, I'm not sure what that is. But it works like it should. You know, I'm in a pretty uncommon, not very populated area, so I don't get a lot of radio stations, but the ones that I do get are very nice, so they sound great. So that's that. It's got a lot of presets, so if you have a lot of radio stations, I think it goes up to 18 stations you can store. I have no clue what's going on over here, but these birds just showed up. Let's see this for a second. This is creepy. Let's see if we can get them to go away. Ah. And they're back. What are they doing? I don't know if I should be concerned or what. There's a whole bunch of them over here. Anyway, back to the radio. We'll check on that in a second. Okay, so that's the radio, the functionality on the radio. Let's go back. Okay, this here is for your music player. I don't have anything installed on any hard drives or anything, so if you hit play, it should be nothing here. There's nothing on here. But if you get a thumb drive, or if you want to put it on the internal storage, it'll show up in this app here. Bluetooth, this is the phone. Oh, I will say this. Before, when I had the pack module, before I put the pack module on, the phone worked in terms of it made phone calls. When people called me, it rang and it showed up, but I got no sound from the phone calls. The people on the phone could hear me, but I couldn't hear them, so that was a big issue before I put the pack module in. Since I put the pack module in, I've been able to receive phone calls and make phone calls and all of those things, and it sounds fine. The microphone is here, and I don't have another microphone, but it's been working fine. You just have to talk a little bit louder, and the sound quality is great. So that's what that Bluetooth part is. DVR, I don't have a DVR. Let's see what happens when you click on it. Yeah, I have nothing here. And video, there may be a sample video in here, so we'll see. Okay, there's a sample video. Let's see if it's got any sound. It does. This is a strange video to be on here. Alright, enough of that. That's weird. Alright, moving on. Okay, this one is your Bluetooth for the music. I gotta get on Spotify. I'll get on it in a little bit. Okay, steering wheel key study. I'm losing focus. Okay, steering wheel key study. None of this stuff works. So reset, nothing. It won't let me do anything. You click on any of the buttons, it doesn't do anything. So that doesn't help. File browser, obviously. Music again, that's the same as that one that we saw earlier. Auto kit. I'm not sure what this is. Oh, this must be the what do they call it? OBD thing that shows you the health of your car. Radio, we've seen that. Now the amplifier, this thing does work. I don't know if it I can tell a big difference between when I hit loudness and when I don't have it pressed. It's considerably louder when you press that one, and it actually, if you need to turn down the radio, you almost have to be on mute before it'll actually get softer. So that's why I have it turned off right now. I don't know if any of these presets actually work. The fader, I don't believe works, but it is what it is. Calculator, don't know why you need this in your car, but there it is. Gallery, I don't believe I have anything in here. Again, I don't know what these weird pictures are that are already in here. Oh, it's that video. Okay, so we'll back out of this. A2DP, that's the Bluetooth again. APK installer. AVN, I watched another video, and this is supposed to be like if you have another camera that you have hooked up, it will go through this, one of those AV plugs behind the radio, and where, like, if you have a camera on your dash, or if you have one under the Jeep or anything like that, it will go to this. Calendar. I wonder if it has my calendar. Oh, it's asking me to sign in. Here we go. We'll talk about that in just a minute. Chrome, obviously what that is. DAB, I'm not sure what this is. I think this is also has to do with the health of your car. Alright, I don't have time to wait for this. Okay. This is a tire pressure app. I don't have that functionality. I didn't pay the extra for that tire pressure thing, but if I did, this would be it here. Easy Connect. This makes it to where you can put your phone screen up on the dash. It worked all right. It was a little slow. I tried it once. It's not really worth showing. Gmail. I don't want to go into that. Okay. GPS info, that's basically just showing you the strength of your antenna, your GPS antenna. I've seen some videos where people were putting their antennas all up here and, below the, mirror. There's a place under the tray, and I just set the GPS antenna there, and it's been working fine. I've been using it for about a week now, and it's been fine. We got the Google Play Store. Netflix does not work. I've tried to get Netflix to work several times. I'm going to be really mad if it works now. Wow. So that was embarrassing. Kimmy Schmidt. Alright, so that was embarrassing. Apparently Netflix does work. Sirius XM, I have not set that up. I do have a subscription, but since I don't have connectivity to the internet at all times, I hadn't been using it that much. Spotify, YouTube, I'll show you YouTube on here. Okay, so this is just a YouTube video. So it connects pretty quick and good quality. Alright, let's go back. These are some launchers that I've tried, and I may make a separate video. The one that I ended up going with is Nova Launcher, and I really like that one. I'll show you Nova Launcher real quick. It just looks better. I don't like how the Seicane's UI looks, so I decided to just use Nova Launcher. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got. The way that it fits in the car is pretty nice. I'll try to back up so you can see how everything ended up looking. It's relatively similar to the factory one. My only complaint is this piece here, this piece right here that goes over the speedometer, the actual radio, and the coin tray are 3 separate pieces, and it was kind of a hassle trying to get all of those pieces to line up, and I can show you what I mean. I watched a video and I was wondering how theirs came out so perfectly, and they had to have glued some stuff together because the piece they had, all of this was one piece in their video, and that might be what I end up having to do. And it doesn't bother me other than the fact that I know that it's there, but I'll show you what I mean. So there's some clamps here. Let me see if I can move the steering wheel so you can see it. You can't really see it, but there's some space between the radio and the tray and the radio and this piece here. It drives me a little crazy that it doesn't completely match up. I could try to squeeze it together here to get everything to line up, but you know, if I let it go, it comes right back. The quality of this is not the greatest. I mean, it works, and if anybody else drives your car, they may notice it, but nobody else would notice it other than you. But look, like this stuff right here, I don't know why it's rubbing off like that, but the quality's pretty good. It's pretty decent. The vents right here are looser than the factory one. You see, they don't really lock in like they did before, but overall I'm very pleased with this radio. It was much better than the standard radio that I got. If you're interested in any other videos, maybe showing you all these launchers that I tried out, or just seeing you know, if you want this thing, I think it's a good price point. You kind of get what you get. If you're worried about trying to put this thing in on your own, excuse me, it's very doable. It took me about, I don't know, I took my time. It was probably about an hour and a half or so, and there's a lot of videos online that made it look a lot easier than it actually is. You know, if you gotta have the right tools and things like that, but it's definitely doable. The biggest problem I had was trying to, one, get the window controls out, and then after that, putting the pack module. Now the pack module was a monster on its own, but I'll make sure to link the video that I found in the description. But yeah, this 2019 Seicane H201G, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, peace.